How's it going, everyone? It is me, Stateside, and we're going to be taking a look at every Premier League club and the player they need to sell this summer. We're going to start off with Arsenal. It's got to be Emil Smith Rowe. Emil Smith Rowe, it's time for him to go. He's not ahead of Fabio. He's not ahead of Martinelli. He's not ahead of Odegaard. He's not ahead of Xhaka. He's not ahead of Saka. He's not really getting minutes off the bench in any of those positions either. Reece Nelson's playing off the bench on the left. You got Vieira. Nelson, I think, got subbed in on the right as well before him. Vieira's coming in at the 8 and the 10 role. It just looks like Emil Smith Rowe's being phased out of the team, and it's time for him to move on. I think a team that's mid-table would be great for him, a great opportunity for him to revamp his career and get himself maybe even back with a big six club, or maybe he even returns to Arsenal. Who knows? Moving along to Aston Villa, we're going to go with Emi Martinez because I think that they're going to sell him, and I think they're going to bring in a new goalkeeper. You're going to have to wait to find out who I think they're going to bring in. But I do think they're going to replace that goalkeeper spot. I think they're going to cash in on him while they can. That World Cup hype is still there. I just think that's going to be a difference maker here over the summer months when it comes to his price tag. Moving along to Bournemouth, we're going to go with is it Jeremiah Lerma? I can't remember. I'm checking. Jefferson Lerma. He wants out. He's linked to Crystal Palace. Let him go. Let him go. You can replace him. Bournemouth, you've stayed up. You are going to be better financially. You can sell him. You can afford him to leave and replace him because it's not fair to stay in the Premier League. You're not going to have to make too much of an investment, I think. I think Bournemouth's got a pretty good squad. I think Neto played very well for them. Senesi's come good for them. I think there's a lot of players that are going to be solid for them. I think they can replace that DM spot with what they get for Lerma. I think it's a good deal all around if they go ahead and sell them. But for both teams, honestly, Palace gets better, and so does Bournemouth has an opportunity to get better too. Brentford, Sergi Canos. I mean, he's already 1 foot out the door. He's on loan to Olympiacos. First goal in the Premier League for Brentford. I know Brentford fans have an affection to him for that reason. He scored their first Premier League goal against Arsenal. But at the end of the day, he's phased out of the team. I think he's only made 6 appearances so far this season. He's made more than that for Olympiacos. I could see him moving there permanently. Brighton, we're going to go with McAllister. There could have been a few players. There could have been Matoma. There could have been Caicedo. There could have been quite a few players that I think need to go from a club point of view and a player-specific point of view. I think Caicedo is a player they'd like to keep. I think Matoma is a player they'd like to keep. I think they've replaced McAllister. No trouble replacing McAllister. I think you cash in on him, sell him to Liverpool, get 60-70 million pounds for him, and reinvest that money into the squad because you're gonna have to replace Ivan Toney. You already know that's gonna have to happen. You could even sell Ivan Toney. He's a player the club may want to get rid of. They could sell him to Chelsea, and Chelsea just wait 6 months before he plays for them. That could be another case of what happens. Obviously, you wouldn't get the money you want for Ivan Toney, but it could be a case of what happens. Those are probably the two that I would go with. Again, World Cup hype helping McAllister get those numbers up. Moving along to Chelsea, another attacking midfielder, another player that plays in the midfield. Well, maybe not. Maybe they're not both 10s, but they're both more of like 8-10. They're kind of similar players. But anyways, Mason Mount for Chelsea. He will go for a free if Chelsea don't have UCL next year or the following year. If they don't get Champions League football next season, that's what I meant to say. I think Chelsea need to sell him. I think you can get money from Liverpool, United. If they actually get 55 million for a player with 1 year on his contract, that's a steal. That's a steal for Chelsea. And they should snap United's hand off at that offer. If they can get 65, that's even better. Because 65 million is a really good number for a player like Mason Mount. Obviously, he's quality. I think whichever team signs him will get that value out of him. But Chelsea, at the end of the day, you can't watch him go for free. You can't watch a boyhood Chelsea fan leave on a free. But anyways, moving along to Crystal Palace. Jordan Ayew, 40 matches, 4 goals, 4th most minutes in the team. The fact Jordan Ayew still has a job in the Premier League is stupid. It is absurd. He has no business being in the Premier League. I don't care what kind of veteran, what kind of leadership he brings. First of all, you only have one player in double-digit goals in Crystal Palace's team, Eberechi Eze. And I don't understand how he still has a job at Crystal Palace. It does not make sense how he's still in that squad playing 40 games this season. Absolutely no business being in that team. Moving along to Everton. Neil Maupay. He's not even if they get relegated, he's not even championship level. I don't think he's a good striker whatsoever. He needs to leave, like, now. But that's all I really have to say about Neil Maupay. He's just not a good striker. Dominic Calvert-Lewin may leave before he does, but Neil Maupay better be out the door before him, or with him. Moving along to Fulham, I went with Neeskens Cabano. 39 minutes less than Manuel Solomon, and they're both left wingers, and he scored 5 fewer goals. He scored 0 goals this season, played 39 minutes fewer than Solomon. I think he's made considerably more fewer appearances, which means he's getting a lot of minutes in those games he plays or played in. And you might as well sell him at this point. I mean, just get some value for him, left winger. I mean, why not? It makes sense to me. It makes sense for Fulham to do. Sell him, get what money you can, reinvest that into the defense. Leeds, it's got to be Dan James. He's championship standard. Even if you get relegated, fine, keep him. If you get relegated, sell Rodrigo. I'm telling you right now, sell Rodrigo. He's not good. He hasn't been good. He's never been good. He's not going to get Leeds the goals they need. He's not the backup for Bamford. He's just not. I think you can keep Nanto, and that'll be fine. Dan James might be striker for Leeds next season at this rate. He's at Fulham, not playing very well, not really getting the minutes, and I just think he needs to move on if they're still in the league next season. And all of these are based on if they're in the league next season. I think that Dan James is championship standard at the end of the day. James Maddison, he's already gone mentally. Mentally, he's no longer a Leicester City player. He wanted to leave in January. If he was healthy, he would have left in January. Let's put it that way. He wants out the door. I think seeing Tielemans get the links he got during the summer made James Maddison realize he wants out the door. And he is not playing like he had the first half of the season. I don't know if he's still lingering with that injury or what, but he's got to go. He's got to leave Leicester if he wants to become the world-class player that he is. Liverpool, I mean, at the end of the day, you're revitalizing your midfield. Get rid of James Milner and Naby Keita, both of them. Milner, good luck at Brighton. Naby Keita, good luck wherever the hell you go, because the hospital, I mean, that's where he's been pretty much most of his career at Liverpool. But that's really I'm going with 2 right there for Liverpool. Naby Keita, James Milner. That's it. Manchester City, Bernardo Silva. He wants out, and he still has value. I mean, he's still a valuable asset to whatever team gets him, because look at how he performed against Real Madrid. If you look at how he performed against Real Madrid, you'll understand he's a quality player. And Bernardo Silva, he gets consistent minutes, and he's going to prove again what he did at Monaco. He's world class. He's better than Bruno Fernandes. I just want to put that out there. Put that in the air right now. Better than Bruno Fernandes, and he will prove it if he gets consistent minutes somewhere. Move along to Manchester United. I mean, you want to get a number 9, and I get it. You want Martial to back him up, but just sell Martial. He's just not good. He won't come good. He's never going to be good. I don't understand why every preseason, he goes crazy, and fans are like, oh my God, Martial, this is his season, blah, 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 blah. And it just falls flat on its face. He ends up injured. He doesn't get consistent game time. He's not playing well. Just let him leave. Just send him off. He's not good enough for Manchester United. And the next player, Newcastle, a player that's slowly become the best player to a player that's just not good enough in Eddie Howe's system. Alan St. Maximin has just not gotten many minutes. Let him leave. Let him move on. He's 26 years old. Give him a chance to reignite his career elsewhere. You'll get a decent fee for the 26-year-old that can dribble. I mean, yeah, a lot of teams are going to want that. I could see him being a success in France, moving to a Lyon, a Marseille. Marseille would probably snap their hand off for a deal with Alan St. Maximin. Nottingham Forest, though, we're going to move on to him. Emmanuel Dennis, give that man's career a hard reset. He what happened there. He was playing crazy for Watford, and then this season the drop off has been immense. And just let him move on. Let him move on. You signed 25 players. I could list probably 12 that you bought last summer that you need to sell this summer. But they stayed in the league. I think it's pretty much all but certain at this point. I think, yeah, it's only Everton, Leeds, and Leicester still competing for relegation here on the final day. But Nottingham Forest, sell Emmanuel Dennis, give him a chance to come back. Southampton, obviously, I can't do this one as if you aren't relegated because you have been relegated. James Ward-Prowse, you're going to need to be able to financially stabilize yourself here in the Championship. Sell James Ward-Prowse. Get a nice 25 million for him. If you can, 20 million maybe might be the max. But get that money, reinvest it into the squad. Do what you can. And stick around, get back to the Premier League. Because, Southampton feels like a regular in the Premier League, despite them being relegated and really having not been crazy good these last few seasons. The players they've produced makes them feel like a Premier League regular. The Pochettino, manager-wise, Mane, Van Dijk, players like that have just been immense in the Premier League that have come from Southampton. Tottenham, sell Harry Kane. Do it now. He's going to leave for free. Free that man. Free that man. Let him out. I don't care if he goes to Manchester United. I don't care if he goes to Real Madrid. I don't care if he goes to Manchester City and plays alongside Haaland. Just let him out. Let him do something. Shoot. I feel bad for Harry Kane because he may not qualify for the European Conference League in his final season with Tottenham. And that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing for Tottenham to be below Aston Villa, a team that sacked Steven Gerrard at the beginning of the season. In October? That's embarrassing. But moving along, we're going to take a look at West Ham here. Declan Rice, sell that man. Sell him to Arsenal. Please sell him to Arsenal. And reinvest that. If you win this Europa Conference League final, this is must-win final for you guys. Because if you win this final, you have Europa League next season. And if you have Europa League next season, you have an opportunity to reestablish yourself, invest that money that you get from Declan Rice and build a nice squad. You're very lopsided right now, I think, in general. I think this West Ham squad needs some reinvestment, and selling Declan Rice will be the catalyst to that reinvestment. Another player that will help his team if he's sold, Ruben Neves. It's absurd that he's been at Wolves that as long as he has. He came up from the Championship with Wolves, and he's probably one of the best. He's Wolves' best player. There's no doubt about that. He's Wolves' best player and a really good midfielder. He's really good in that position. I think going forward, they can sell him and, again, reinvest that money into a very, very good squad. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like down below. It really helps me a ton. And hey, right there's a subscribe button too, right next to the like button. You should press the thumbs up, and then hit that subscribe button, and it'll help me out a ton. I'm almost at 50 subscribers. I would love to hit it by the end of May. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you think. Peace.